Welcome, students of Hebrew. And today we are going through again the book of John in Hebrew, which is also called Yehuchanan or Yochanan in the more modern Hebrew, and John. So, chapter 2 we are doing, and it's verses 19 to 22. So, let us begin. And as I do each week, we have the Nakud valve markings with these great resources which will help you much in your study. And of course, the chart that helps you understand the vowels. So let us begin. And as you can see, it's represented with a yod and a tet. Yod is 10, tet is 9, the ninth letter of the alphabet. So we know we're in 19. So we go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Ayin, Nun, Sofit, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Hey, Mem, Sofit, which is a mem at the end of the word, a Hey, a Resh, a Samek, and a Vav. So let us read it. Vaya'an, and he answered. And its root is ana, which is a kal verb to answer, to reply, to respond. And he answered, Yahushua, or Yahusha, Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them. Here, su, you demolish. So let's have a look down here at what we can find. Haras is a kal verb to destroy, to ruin, to demolish. And lehiros is a verb to demolish, to ruin, to destroy. And it's a hifilled form. So now we can read that, and we get Vaya'an, Yahushua, Vayomer, Alehem. Here, su. And the translation, and he answered Yeshua, and he said unto them, you demolish. And the normal translation, Yeshua answered and said to them, tear down. So we turn to now 19b, and we have an aleph, a tav, a hey again, yod, kaf, lamed, hey, zion, hey, vav, veyet, because there's no dot there, shin, lamed, shin, hey, yod, mem, sofit, aleph, kuf, yod, mem, nun, vav. And we read it, et, grammar marker, ha, hekal. Hekal means temple, the temple, grammar marker, the temple. Ha-ze, this, vish lo sha, and the vav is in 3, because of course we got shalosh is a feminine noun meaning 3, and of course hekel is a masculine noun. It can mean palace, hall, or temple. And then we have yamim, meaning days. Akimenu, akimenu, I will raise up it. Now the nu at the end, what we discovered is when there's a dagesh in the nun, it still remains as like single. It can be he or it. So that's a thing which we discovered as we went along in our learning, that it's it or he. So in this case, of course, because it's talking about the temple, it's it. I will raise up it. So from the previous verse, tear down this temple, and in 3 days I shall raise it up. And I've given you come, which is a kal verb to arise, to get up, to wake up, to stand up. And that's how we see the root in there. And then, of course, we've got hekim, which is a verb to erect, to raise, to cause, to stand. The hey makes it a he-filled strong verb being causative. Right, and so we now can read that. Et ha-hekal ha-ze uvish-lo-sha yamim aki-me-nu. Grandma, mark at the temple this, and in 3 days I will raise up it. And so we come to 20, part A. And 20 is represented with a kaf, which has a value of 20. And then we go Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Vav, Hey, Yod, Hey, Vav, Dalet, Yod, Mem, Safit, Hey, Nun, Hey. Aleph, Resh, Bayit, because there's a dot in it, Ayin, Yod, Mem, Safit, Mem at the end of the word, Vav, Shin, 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 Nun, Hey. And we read it, Va, Yom, Ru. And they said it's a third person. The Vav at the end is third person. Ha, Yahudim, meaning the Jews. Hine, behold. Arba'im, 40, because it's got im at the end, it's arba means 4, and then with the im it's 40, because it's plural. Va, shesh, and 6, 40 and 6. Shana, years. Interestingly, even though shana looks like singular, like year, it's also used as years. If we look down here, we've got shanim, which is years. Shana used for years as well. And I've quoted where they use the singular form to mean years. Bereshit 5:3, 5:27, and many others there that you'll see. So therefore we can use it as years. And of course, sas is a kol verb to rejoice, to be happy. And I'm giving you that because we know shesh means 6 when counting in the feminine. So this means 6. But if we look at the root of it, sas also means to rejoice, to be happy. Just so you don't get confused with the two, because they could look very similar. So the Jews said, behold, 46 years. And then we read it. Vayom ru ha Yehudim hine arba'im v'shesh shana. And they said, the Jews, behold, 46 years. And now we have 20b. So we have a nun, vayet, nun, hey. Hey, hey, yod, kaf, lamed, hey, zion, hey, vav, aleph, tav, hey, bayet, shin, lamed, shin, hey, yod, mem, safit, tav, kuf, yod, mem, nun, vav. And we read it. Nivna was built. And if we look down here, bana is a kol verb to build, to construct, to develop. And then we have ha-hekal, the temple, the hekel. Ha-ze, this. Ve'ata, and you. Ata means you. Bish-lo-sha, in 3. Because we know shalosha means 3. Yamim, days. Te-ki me nu. Now this time, because we've got a tav there, it's second person. So it is, and you shall raise up it. Again, the nu is it. And therefore, I've got down here, hekim, which is a verb to establish, to erect, to raise up. And the tav prefix is second person future tense. So the translation is, in 46 years was built the temple, and you would raise it up in 3 days? And so we read it. Nivna ha-hekal ha-ze ve'ata bishlosha yamim tekimenu. And the translation, was built the temple this, and you in 3 days you shall raise up it? And so we come to 21, represented with a calf and an aleph. Calf is 20, aleph is 1. And then we have Vav, Hey, Vav, aleph. Dalet, Bayet, Resh. Ayin, Lamed, Hey, Yod, Kaf, Lamed. Gimel, Vav, Yod, Tav, and Vav. Now let's read it. Vehu, and he. The bear, he spoke. Al, meaning about. Hekal, meaning the hekel of, or the temple of. Geviyato, Geviyato, his body. If we look down here, Geviya is a feminine noun for corpse or body. And the translation, but he was speaking of the temple of his body. So now we can read that. Vehu, the bear, al hekal geviyato. And he spoke about the hekel, the temple of his body. And so we come to 22a. Represented with a calf and a vayet, the second letter of the alphabet. So we're in 22. And we have Vav, Aleph, Chet, Resh, Yod, Kuf, Vav, Mem, Vav, Mem, Nun Sofit, Nun at the end of a word. Hey, Mem, Tav, Yod, Mem Sofit. Zion, Kaf, Resh, Vav, Tav, Lamed, Mem, Yod, Daled, Yod, Vav. And let's read it. Ve'acharei, and after. Kumo, his rising. Again, the pronouns on the end, that's his. And we know kum means to rise up. His rising. Min, from hamatim, meaning the dead. And that's like a plural form as well with the im at the end. And this is Zakru, they remembered. If we look down here, Zakar is a co-verb to remember. Zakar also, with slight different vowel mark, only one different vowel mark. Zakar as a masculine noun means male and man. So I wanted to make you aware of that, so you do not mistakenly think that it's male, but in this case it means remembered. They remembered. Again, the pronouns at the end. Talmidayev, his disciples, with the vav at the end, meaning his. So after he rose from the dead, his disciples remembered. And I've given you a few other ones. We know that kam means to wake up, to arise, to be established. Lakum means to rise, to stand up, to wake up. And hekim means to erect, to raise up, to place upright. It's a hifeld again. And of course, met is a noun for dead, deceased. And mut is a verb to die, to expire. So I'm giving you all these added sort of ones to help you with your vocabulary. So let's read it. Ve'acharei kumo min ha-metim zakru talmidayev. And of course the translation. And after his rising from the dead, they remembered his disciples. And then we have 22b. Kaf Yod Zayin Aleph Tav. Aleph Mem Resh, Lamed He Mem Sofit, Vav Yod, Aleph Mem Yod Nun Vav, Vayet Kaf Tav Vav Vayet. So it's good to practice trying to do it quicker. Key 4, Zot this, Amar, he said, no pronoun means he, Lahem to them, Vaya'a mi nu, and they believed. If we look at the root of that, it's he'emin is a verb to believe. So therefore the nun is part of the root. So it's they believe because we have a vav and a yod, which changes it from future to past or completed action. So and they believed. Va katuv, which is in katuv, meaning the writing, translated as the scriptures. And then we also have amin, which as an adjective means authentic, true, credible, faithful. And that's where we also get amen from. Right, so now we can read that. And it is ki zot, amar, lahem, vaya'a mi nu, va katuv. And the translation remembered that he had said this to them, and they believed the scriptures. And I've also given you that the vav and the yod prefix is a complete form or past tense. So I've also explained it there. For this he said to them, and they believed in the writing, or the writings, the scriptures, in other words. And now we have 22C. So we go through the letters. Vav, Vayet, Dalet, Vayet, Resh. Aleph, Shin, Resh, Dalet, Bayet, Resh. Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin. So the quicker we can identify the letters, naturally the easier it's going to be to read. So we read, U, Va, Da, Var. And in the word. Again, the Vayet is in, and this is and. Asher, that, Diber, he spoke, because there's no pronoun. Yahushua, or Yahusha. The scriptures and the word that Yeshua had spoken. And I've given you some interesting ones. Devar we know is masculine noun for word, but it can also mean object, thing, matter, or occurrence. And diber is a PL verb to speak, to discuss. But interesting, dever, which is the same root but got different vowel marks, it's a masculine noun and it means plague, pestilence. So it's important that we understand that there are differences when the vowels are different. And so we read it. U va davar asher diber Yahushua. And the translation. And in the word that he spoke, Yahusha. And now we come to our revisions. And let us hope that we do okay with our revisions to see if we have sort of retained some of this knowledge that we've been practicing. So first we know Yod has a value of 10. Tet has a value of 9. So we know we're in 19. Vaya'an, and he answered, Yahushua. Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them. And we have, hear su, you demolish. So it's like him speaking, so it's second person. And the translation, and he answered Yahushua, and he said unto them, you demolish, et, which is a grammar marker, ha hekal, the temple, ha ze, this, I mean this temple, u vish lo sha, and in 3 yamim, days, ki me nu. I shall raise up it. Grandma, make at the temple this, and in 3 days I will raise up it. And then we have calf, value of 20. We know we're in verse 20. Vayomru, and they said, Ha Yehudim, the Jews, Hinne, behold, Arba'im, 40, Va Shesh, and 6, Shana, years. And they said, the Jews, behold, 46 years. And now we come to 20b, which is Nivna was built, ha-hekal, the temple, ha-ze this, ve'ata, and you, vishlo shah, in 3 yamim days, te ki me nu, you shall raise up it. Was built the temple this, and you in 3 days, you shall raise up it. And then we have a calf, 20, aleph, 1. We're in 21. Vehu, and he, bear, he spoke. Al can be about. Hekel, which means the temple, and we can add to that of. Geviyato, meaning his body, or his corpse, literally, but we can say body, his body, because of course he's not a corpse yet. And he spoke about the Hekel, the temple of his body. Then we have calf veyat. So a calf is 20, veyat is 2, and then we have ve'achare. And after kumo, his rising up, min from ha-metim, the dead, zakru, they remembered, talmidayev, his disciples. And after his rising from the dead, they remembered. That's who? His disciples. And now we come to 22b and c, where it is ki for zot this, amar, he said, lahem, to them, va'ya'aminu, and they believed, va'katuv, in the writing, or the scriptures. For this he said to them, and they believed in the writing, the scriptures. Uvadavar, and in the word, asher that, diber, he spoke, Yahushua, or Yahusha. And in the word that he spoke, Yahushua. And then finally we will come to the vowel markings. And we'll just pick the bottom line for now. Now here we have what's called a shuruk. Now this vowel often replaces, or it always replaces the vav. So it gives you the u sound. So rather than a vav, it's an u, called a shuruk. And then we have this one, kubutz. Now that again is the same u, but it seems like it's a longer sound. Kubutz. Whereas the other one was shu, like a shorter sound. Then we have a combination of shava and segal. It's called a kataf segal, followed after the shava. And then we have chirik, which is the I sound, Then we have Kataf Patak, which is a short A after the Shava. And we have a Kataf Kamat, which is a longer A sound after the Shava. And then we will finish with looking again and reminding us of the useful resources which are helping us enormously, because we are dealing with the New Testament. So we haven't got Blue Letter Bible, but we use the dictionary more. And we use this resource, which gives us transliteration and translations. It's a very useful tool. And, of course, the values of all the letters. So let's go backwards. We have a Taf 400, Shin 300, Resh 200, Kuf 100, Zadeh 90, Pei or Fei 80, Ayin 70, Samek 60, Nun 50, Mem is 40, Lamed 30, Kaf 20, Yod 10, Tet 9, Chet 8, Zion 7, Vav 6, Hey 5, Dalet 4, Gimel 3, Vayet. They have Bayet, but there's no dot in it, so we could also say Vayet, which is 2, and Aleph 1. And so we come to the end of this week's lesson, and we do pray that you are blessed by these lessons and that you are getting more inspired to keep learning. We're trying to make it as easy as possible to go through it, and we do pray that you are blessed by going through it. So we wish you a Shavua Tov, which is a good week or a good 7, in Yeshua HaMashiach's great and glorious name. Amen.